So for a little over a year on my channel, I spoke pretty openly about mental illness, which is a topic that is pretty close to my heart. But in this era 3, I like to think we've moved past being mentally ill or neurodivergent and have reached a happy, well-adjusted era. But how did I get here? This may surprise you, but I wasn't actually always like this. I wasn't always jREGular. I struggled with mental illness for most of my life. However, I no longer feel like that, and in this video, I want to explain why. I'm making this video to let you know that if you're in a position where you feel like life is extremely difficult and that things aren't going to get better, I want you to use me as an example that your life can get better and that you should keep trying to make it better, because it's entirely possible. I really did feel for a long period of life that things weren't going to get better for me, that I would wake up every day feeling little to no joy, going through my days in a malaise, a haze, not looking forward to my future, regretting my past, but all of that has changed now. This is because I am in the midst of a hypomanic episode. All right, it's not good to have manic episodes. This was a tough pill for me to swallow, actually. I love having manic episodes, dude. I really enjoy them, and I don't get to feel good about my life very often, so it fucking hurts to end it, because I don't want it to go. It's like I am finally who I have wanted to be my entire life, effortlessly. And this is probably the video where it becomes very clear that I'm LARPing as a normal person, and it's true, I am. I cannot make myself fucking normal. I can't. I tried, I'm not. I'm not even sad about it either. Like, at some point, I guess I was sad about it, but you can only be sad about something for so long before you mourn and you accept.
Why are we watching this? What do you mean, why are we watching this? It's a guy who I think has bipolar, assuming he's not fucking trolling, and he's taking medication, and he's describing coming down from a bipolar high, and the feelings that he's having while he's high, the lucid thoughts he's having combined with the weird mood swings he's having, and then coming down on a medication. What do you mean, why are we watching this? What do you want to watch? Are mental illnesses inevitable for these people based on brain anatomy or chemistry or something, or does it all develop due to environment? It all probably has, everything is going to be a combination of some environmental factor and some genetic factor. That's always for every single trait you have.
This anymore. I do feel gratitude for the people who watch me, because this is crazy. This is like insane shit. And the only difference between me and a homeless schizophrenic is I have a camera and people who watch me. To justify my existence, like, I know that a lot of people watch me and they're like, am I enabling this shit? Just be healthy. Like, fuck, man, I'm trying. Or at least it's the best I can do.
I feel like there's a couple things that I think are interesting about mental illness. I feel like if you're a sober person, the closest you can probably get is doing some sort of drug. I think that the complicated thing, or one interesting thing about mental illness is I think you feel like there's a huge struggle between like the logical side of your brain and then like the emotional side of the brain. For the logical side of the brain, it's very easy to talk about it because it's our words and it's our thoughts and it's our deductive logic and it's our analysis of the world and all this shit. And it's almost like an external thing. There's so much that like around our world we do to like use our deductive brain to figure things out. If you're a mentally healthy person, you don't really pay much attention to the underlying kind of emotional state of your brain, because for the most part, the underlying emotional state of your brain can usually be understood through external analysis. Like, man, I'm really upset. Well, why are you upset? Because that guy just called me an asshole. Fuck. Man, I'm really pissed off. Why are you pissed off? Because I lost my fucking game. Man, I'm not in a good mood. Why? Fuck, I'm hungry. I need food. Right? A lot of it is like very externalized. So it's even your emotional side can be understood very well through a lot of like logic and reason. Now, that's not like 100%. There's going to be some things that might affect you you're not as cognizant of, maybe being a little bit tired, maybe being a little unhealthy. For the most part, you can kind of like figure this out. I think the interesting thing about mental illness is you don't have those external like anchors to see where your emotional changes are coming from. So you're just kind of like chilling and everything is like normal externally. There's not like a stimulus that you can put a finger on, but the emotional state, the underlying stuff in your brain is changing significantly. And it's it's an incredibly frustrating feeling to have so much like inner turmoil and change of everything, and there's not like an external stimulus to point to. And then I think it can be frustrating on top of it because you're like, it's not like your logic shuts off, right? A depressed person knows what depression is. They know that staying in bed is probably bad for them. They know, right? Or when you're bipolar, even for your bipolar person generally knows that they're being a bit crazy. In any manic episode I've ever seen, I think people generally know they're being crazy. I had one personal friend, Reckful, when he was manic. This guy, assuming this was a real manic episode, which I think it was, generally when people are being manic, they kind of know, and they'll even kind of like joke about it. It's like, this is the best I've ever felt in my life. This is really good. Probably shouldn't be good though. Probably should, right? Like they're aware of it. They're not stupid. They don't go brain dead. So the logic and everything's still working, but the emotional like undercurrent is so extreme. It's like stepping into like 4 feet of like moving water. Like like on the outside it doesn't look like much, but it's like tens of thousands of pounds of force will just sweep you away, and you're not even able to do anything about it. It's just super interesting to. It's just interesting, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. It's got to be really frustrating when you're dealing with mental illness to have like such a strong undercurrent that you can't peg on any external stimulus. And then you'll take a medication, and then you can feel all of it like changing like very quickly beneath you as well, which has also got to be, I guess, part relieving because at least it's going away, and then also it's just an interesting feeling. Yeah, if you're like a mentally healthy person, you never experience like these types of dramatic mood swings unless you do drugs. Then you can start to feel it, right? So if you've done like big dose of amphetamines, if you've done like psychedelics, then you can start to get to feel those things. But even that is not the same because at least you're taking a drug, and that's why everything is changing so much. So even that's not like quite the same experience, but yeah. Do you think he was acting or not? I don't think he was acting. If he was acting, he did a really, really, really good job, such that the performance, at least in my eyes, is indistinguishable from somebody that's actually mentally ill. But yeah. What would you do if you started experiencing heavy mood swings / hypomanic episodes? For me, I always feel like there's 4 pillars that are really important in your life to get under control. It's your diet, it's some form of exercise, it's sleep, and it's social life. That if those 4 things start to fall out of whack, you get those in order as much as you can, and then hope that the brain will follow. So diet means like roughly decent balance of like micronutrients, roughly decent balance of macronutrients. You don't have to go like full fucking hardcore, like the most insane diet, but like don't be eating horrible fried shit every single day. It's probably not good for you. Exercise means like, I think the goal usually people say is like, if you can move like 30 to 60 minutes a day, if you're starting at 0, it's going to be incredibly good for you. Just 30 to 60 minutes. If you listen to podcasts or any of that shit, like throw on your AirPods and take a walk around the block or whatever. Like shit like that is incredibly good for you. Diet, exercise, sleep. Sleeping is really, really, really important. Go to sleep at the same time every day. Get used to waking up with the sun. Circadian rhythm is important. Make sure that the sun makes you feel awake and alive. Make sure that at night you start to feel tired. And then social, like have friends. You need to have people that you talk to and shit. But if you're if those 4 things is like, if any of those are out of whack, I think your mental shit can start to deteriorate. But I would take medication if I had to. Right now, I'm saying I wouldn't because I feel like I wouldn't. But in those states of mind, the very, very, very few times, I think they were partially drug-induced months later. But for the very few times I have been in those states, I would take drugs afterwards. I would take a drug if I needed to balance things out. There's nothing wrong with that either. And another thing too is if you're really anti-drug, it's fine to be anti-drug. Just use them for a little bit so that you can start to work out those other 4 pillars of your life. So if you're like, fuck, I feel weak because I'm taking a drug or whatever, fine, feel weak. You are weak. Fuck you. You're a loser. But be a loser for like a month. It's better to be a loser for a month or 6, take some drugs, figure out the other pillars of your life, and then you can wean yourself off of it rather than to be miserable for the rest of your life. Because if you have a mental illness and you're not making dramatic changes in your life, you will have that mental illness forever and it will destroy you and your life will suck. Yeah. But when I say I would take drugs, I'm sorry, I mean like prescription drugs. That's what I meant there, sorry. Isn't the danger of some of those meds that they can get you to stop being lazy about suicide and actually off yourself? You could. But I mean like obviously I do everything under like moderation from a doctor and everything, right? Do you know how many of those pillars Reckful worked on fixing? I don't know if Reckful ever did any physical exercise. His social life was always a mess. I think his sleep was a mess, but I don't remember. Social life, sleep. And then I don't know what his diet was like either. I have no idea. Something that really sucks, I hate doing this. I'm so black-pilled on like upbringing because god damn is your upbringing so fucking important. Being able to establish routines is so important. I wish that 95% of like motivational speak and everything, it has to be on routines. It's the most boring thing in the world. It has to be on routines of discipline. It can't be sexy motivational videos. It can't be screaming at you that you're not good enough. You gotta blah, 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 blah. Like those feelings of elation that you get after watching Andrew Tate tell you, go be a man and blah, blah, blah. Those are fleeting and temporary. But like the kid whose mom is like, it's 7 a.m., wake up. You have to do laundry. It's 6 p.m. You need to do this. It's 8 p.m. It's time for homework. That type of like really annoying, rudimentary, like disciplined scheduling out shit will carry you in life a million times farther than a billion fucking motivational speeches. I think motivational speeches to me, it's like the difference between like how do you want to get healthy, and you can either eat like a well-balanced diet, like, you know, 3 meals a day or whatever, or you can just get huge sugar rushes. Motivational speeches make me feel like sugar rushes. You take them and you're like, fuck, I'm ready to change my whole fucking life. But if you have no discipline, then who the fuck cares? Like all the motivation in the world won't carry you. But I say that because I notice that a lot of people, building routines, I think that here's my thing. If you want to change anything in your life, this could be your mental health. It could be your physical health. It could be working out. It could be your job or career. It could be literally anything in your life. The approach should be, you should treat it like, what routine do I need to build? Like, what is the routine that I need to build for it? That should always be the thing. Yeah. I know so many people who are like, I want to change a thing, and they're hyped, they're motivated, they go out and they buy a bunch of stuff for it, and then it sits in the closet and it never gets used because they had that spurt of motivation, they acquired the things that they needed to do, and then it just like, oh, fuck me. Like my guitar in the background. I know you don't love with Sneeko a bit, but this is actually why he's better than Tate. His months on months of W daily streamer and posting his gym story every single day were foundationally incredible for his followers. You watch him build himself. Oh, sure. I don't even know how often he works out. Okay, listen. But no, I mean, like, that kind of stuff is good. It's always good. I'm not saying motivation is bad, but you have to use the motivation to build routines. That's like the important thing. This might be a dumb question, but do you think someone with friends, exercise, but living a nocturnal lifestyle could be mentally healthy? Yeah, you probably could. Working night shifts and stuff, it's just a little bit of an extra challenge you got to work against, I guess, you know? I'm saying Sneeko wasn't using motivation. He was trying to teach discipline. It wasn't about short-term motivation. He was saying, we're doing this every day no matter how we feel. Sure. How does one build a routine, though? Like, let's say I don't eat healthy. It's insanely hard to build a routine and lifestyle where I only eat healthy food if I have like 20 plus years of just eating shit food. I should know these. I know like a lot of like little tips and tricks, but it's like, I don't know. Setting like small measurable goals is really, really, really important. It would depend on every activity. So here's something to stop by. I used to bite my nails and my fingers horribly, like all my nails down to the very little, and then like eating all the skin off of all of my fingers. I think I did this for probably 22, 23 years of my life. There were a lot of times where it's like, okay, I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to stop doing this. I remember that the way that the little trick I used to finally do it was, I think it was for 1 week. I said that I'm gonna not do this one finger, okay? And then I just left one finger alone for 1 week, and then I still had all my other 9 other fingers to blah blah blah. I was like, okay, fuck it, whatever. And then like week after week after week, I would add like 2 or 3 or 4 fingers. One thing that's so incredibly important, and this is very hard because for anything that matters, it's gonna take time. Nothing in life is quick and easy, okay? If it was, everybody would do it. Everything takes time. But once you've gone through, I think for me, once I was like a month or 2 in and I had like 4 or 5 fingers that were like healed and looked normal, like seeing those compared to like my disgusting, chewed out, horrible fucking fingers, I just dropped all of it at that point because I was like, it looks gross and my other fingers look so good. Like, why would I keep doing this? But like when you start to see results, that can start to compound. But the thing is once you've seen results, you're probably already a decent bit into the discipline or into the routine. For food, one tip that I've heard for food that probably helps, I'll know this more, I guess, when I start to do my weight loss after I get to my strength numbers. For diet, like eat and order all the same shit that you do anyway, but just order like smaller portion sizes. So if you like to eat snacks, if you like to get milkshakes, if you like to eat like a bunch of unhealthy shit, fine, keep doing it. But like in the beginning, just get like half. Like if you really, really, really like McFlurries from McDonald's or whatever, get like a small. right? You're eating the same shit. You're never ever gonna have the feeling after eating like a small ice cream or whatever, like, fuck, I should have got the medium or large. You'll eat it, you'll feel good, you got your sugar shit, it's fine. You feel like when you go to order that you need like the large, but just like start getting like half. Just like order smaller sizes. Because you'll still get all the same flavor and all the shit, right? That's one thing. There's a bunch of like small tips and tricks related to dieting about that. You can get more extreme in that, but like, yeah, it's gonna depend on like it'll depend on the discipline you're trying to make or break.
Just got a big promotion.
Yeah.
Time to be a whale.
Destiny has a bad take. He doesn't understand the fight of insulin. Tell me what you mean real quick before I permaban you. Go ahead. I don't know what retarded fucking thought you have, so I'll wait. No control. Go ahead. You don't get that when you eat a ton of sugar, you get addicted to it. Okay, yeah, you're fucking retarded. Okay, go eat a mountain of sugar. Yeah, no shit. Obviously. I remember reheating some Chinese food and I intentionally kept the proportions on. Yeah, sure. There's a psychological feeling to finishing a plate of food, and it's just in my personal experience, and then I'm pretty sure most people report this. If you go to a restaurant and you order like a small amount of food, I'm not saying like 2 fucking bites, but like instead of getting like the supersized meal, just get like a medium or a small meal, and you eat it all. Once you eat it all, you'll be full. You'll be like, okay, I ate it. You're not gonna be like, fuck, I needed to get the large or whatever. That's just like, but that's a start. But yeah, depending on the routine or the habit you're trying to build, there's a whole bunch of little tips and tricks that goes along with what you want to do. Wow, right. Thanks for gifting 10 subs. I got a new job along with signing bonus. Here you go, buddy. Thanks, buddy.
I just got a new job along with signing bonus. Here you go, buddy. Put this to my DGG stock options.
Destiny doing the thing where he hasn't walked the walk and giving advice. I've done these things for some habits before. I mean, like I went to school for music, so like I know how to build routines and everything doing that. But like this is advice for like people that are having like huge trouble with their lives. Like my life is better than probably 99.99% of your lives will ever be. Like even if I implement nothing of what I'm saying, like I'm still having like a fucking transcendent experience every single day, and I've like out achieved and out earned like probably 99.99% of people who've ever lived or will ever live by my age. So like I'm not sitting here like desperately searching for this advice to help. This is for people that have like mental illness or huge issues in their life and they're trying to fix their shit. So yeah, there's like some of this that I haven't implemented, but like yeah, no shit. I'm also really bad, for instance, there's a lot of criticism that I give that I might necessarily not follow or do follow, but I don't need to. It's because I super overexcel in other areas of my life. If you're listening to me right now, it's not because your life is like 10 out of 10 and it's perfect. You're like, oh, like what are these huge like key indicators to success that Destiny's implementing? Well, it's like my mind is fucked and destroyed and I have huge mental health issues and I'm looking for like little tips or tricks to get out of it. Also, yourself. Boom! Definitely respects his audience. You want to see how much I respect my audience? Hold on, where is it? Where is it? Oh, yeah, where are we at? Wait, how do you ban people? There it is. See ya, Batadius. How true do you think it is when you build the routine that the motivation will be there? I think when you start to see results from a given thing, I think that the motivation will be there. It's good to have like, I think it's also good if you're building new routines to have like little milestone things for it. So for working out, it might be, well, for working out, it's seeing changes in your body. It might be like feats of strength. So being able to do like a pull up, being able to do a push up, if that's something you can't do. For music, if you're learning like piano or if you're learning an instrument, choosing very easy songs to play is really important. Nobody wants to grind scales for 6 months before you sound decent on an instrument. So pick like Mary had a little, like little things like, yeah, little milestone things like that to see improvement are good. How do I keep a diet if family eats a week of diet food in a day after you bought it? In my personal opinion, if you're surrounded by people with bad habits, don't do any of the things I just told you. Just give up and just live the most fucking gluttonous lifestyle possible. Eat the shit you want. Don't do anything. Fuck it. Because to be honest, you'll never outcompete horrible influences around you. You're just not going to be able to do it. It's just, you're setting yourself up for failure. If you've got an addiction problem and you have a bunch of druggy friends, like just find the best and go crazy. If you're obese and you live with a partner who buys snacks and shit all the time, make him get the best snack because you're fucked. Okay. The takeaway from what I'm saying is you have to remove negative influences from your life if you're trying to break certain habits that all of them exude. You will never, ever, 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 ever be able to do it. You will never be able to outdo negative influences around you ever. It is literally impossible. Any person, any addictions program you go to, any obesity training, whatever the fuck program you go to, every single person you will ever go to, that you will ever talk to in any of those areas will always tell you you have to get away from like the bad influences in your life. And as long as they're there, you will never overcome it. You just can't. It's just human nature. It's impossible. Because if you were the type of person to overcome it, you probably wouldn't have fallen into it in the first place. But yeah. Destiny, that's true with learning a new instrument, but the most boring shit always ends up being the barrier to getting really good, i.e. scales and fundamentals. Sure, but you can still learn like little things along the way. Being able to overcome something has nothing to do with being risk adjacent. That's not what your mom said. Hold on, I think I need to get food.